If sailing down the canals of Venice, admiring the views from the top of the Empire State Building, or experiencing the beauty and the wonder of the Northern Lights tickles your romantic interests, then make sure you keep watching this Planet Cruise Weekly as we look at some of the most romantic places around the world. Sometimes the only thing that can possibly make a cruise better, other than of course cruising with the person that you want to be with, is the places that you're going to. And today we're going to have a look at some of Planet Cruise's favourite romantic destinations. Now some of you might be remembering the old TV show, The Love Boat. We're not going to go down that route as we're looking at the more romantic, sweet side of things that you and your partner might experience by cruising to various destinations. Now, obviously, there are many destinations around the globe that we can talk about, and some will have a special meaning to you. Maybe it's where you first met, or you first fell in love, or first learnt to dive, or took a next step. You know, maybe you think there's somewhere that could be added into our list. So if you do, get involved, comment, share. Make sure that you get involved in the conversation here at Planet Cruise Weekly, because you know these are just our opinions. Your opinions might be completely different.
Also, you can click the link, there we go, in the top right, and it'll take you to our website where we have all kinds of cruise and stay packages to the most romantic places all around the world. Now, not only do we have cruises to these destinations, but we tailor make many more cruise packages as well. So for example, if you want to have a 2 to 3 extra night stay in Barcelona at the end of the cruise, we can do that for you. All you have to do is go to our website or give us a call, and one of our cruise experts can help you plan all of that. But before we get stuck into today's episode, make sure you click the subscribe button and bell next to it. It's ding, dong, done.
So obviously the big bonus about cruising to these romantic destinations is you get to see more than one of them in one holiday.
Absolutely.
Unpack once.
Easy.
Multiple destinations.
Yes.
Lots of romance. And in fact, if you want to know about romantic things you can do on board a cruise ship, then we did a wonderful episode about that, didn't we?
We did, yeah.
We did. Click that link there. That's all about romantic things to do on board a cruise ship. So some housekeeping tasks before we go any further.
Yeah.
The information we're giving you today was true at point of filming.
Yes.
Was accurate.
Yes.
We just don't know when you're going to watch this, so it may have changed since. And the other thing as well is that many of the lines we're going to chat about today, bear in mind that P&O and Cunard largely sail out of the UK, which is dead easy and convenient.
So easy.
And Cunard are great to get into New York because they did their regular transatlantic crossings throughout the summer season. So, Kim, let's give it a go.
Let's do it.
Let's go.
Now, Italy is widely known as pretty much the most romantic country in the world. And even within Italy itself, there are numerous places that rank high up on that list of the most romantic cities and destinations that are all ideal to cruise to. Now, some of the cruise lines that explore the Italian waters include P&O, Royal Caribbean, Cunard, Celebrity, Costa and MSC.
So we'll begin with the godfather of all romance, Venice. Now Venice, of course, is famous for having no roads, which means lots of romantic walks, holding hands, gazing into each other's eyes, maybe a trip on a gondola. The canals, of course, are lined with Renaissance and Gothic palaces, and the historic Piazza St. Marco, or St. Mark's Square, is of course home to the famous Basilica, and it really is a must-see landmark. Venice, in fact, is without doubt one of the most romantic locations, and one of the best things to do is just to get lost with a loved one.
Now onto a city that is known as the cradle of the Renaissance and home to the renowned Duomo, Michelangelo's David, and of course the Ponte Vecchio Bridge as well, which is absolutely stunning. But even with all of these incredible sites and locations, the real romance starts when you scratch beneath the surface, exploring the quieter streets with the smell of authentic restaurants and gelaterias as well, filling the air, serenaded by classical Italian music, letting you create your own romance and memories. It's definitely one of those unforgettable places.
I prefer Florence to Rome. I even probably prefer it to Venice. Yeah.
Oh, I love Venice.
Would you believe that? It's a gorgeous city. Next up, of course, we can't talk about Italy and romance without talking about Rome.
Yes.
It's famous for many reasons, of course. You know, we know it for the Colosseum, the residence of the Pope, St. Peter's Basilica, the Sistine Chapel. It's fascinating, it's unforgettable, it's incredible. It's one of those places that you simply have to visit, you know, and at the same time it gives you a great sense of romance as you explore it. It does make you kind of want to hold hands as you stare up in wonder at things and you're sharing it with somebody. And there are some really lovely romantic things you can do, particularly if you go through the Borghese Gardens, which is something that not everybody does.
No, it's worth it though.
Really worth it. Villa Borghese, the gardens all around there. It's a huge park right in the centre of Rome, and it's a great way to spend some time with a loved one. A few other places that deserve a mention, of course, Italian cities, Pisa, Verona, of course.
Never been.
I've never been.
No.
Very nice. Got a beautiful open air kind of old Colosseum venue, you know, which is great for opera.
So moving through into the Greek islands. Now, of course, with everywhere, there's so many different Greek islands, but our favourite, and hopefully it is one of your favourites as well, is Santorini.
Oh, it's beautiful.
Yes, now it's set on the outer ridge of an ancient volcano, which gives you views that you've all seen and loved. It's known for its whitewashed houses, the bright blue sea, the donkey rides, as well as all the stunning views as well. Don't forget, there's loads of little back streets that you can explore. Now, each has stunning alleys holding its own secrets. So you've got hidden churches and to secluded balconies as well. And again, we keep mentioning it's that once in a lifetime view. Santorini is known for that view. It's stunning.
Yeah, particularly at sunset. If you are there, if you're lucky enough that your ship doesn't sail beforehand and you get a bit of night time, then be up there for the sunset because it's incredible. And keep that in mind when we talk about the different lines that help you explore Greece, because obviously Greece features with virtually every cruise line in the world. You know, you can go there with Marella, Costa, Norwegian Cruise Lines, Celebrity, P&O, but the one which really does immerse itself is a Greek cruise line itself, which is Celestial Cruises, and their cruise itineraries exclusively explore the Aegean and the Eastern Mediterranean Sea, taking in all the Greek islands and the mainland as well, and they're there during the prime time, so they're there after sunset, so you can watch the sun go down in, you know, in Santorini, and you also get to go to other islands. Some of my favourites, Mykonos, incredible.
Corfu.
Corfu, yeah, Paros, Rhodes, so many. It's a really nice way of authentically exploring Greece on a cruise ship.
Moving into a city that doesn't actually really need any explanation. It's Paris, which is affectionately known as the City of Love. Many, I'm sure, of you have already been there, but you can climb the Eiffel Tower, you can explore the Notre Dame, witness the history as well of the Arc de Triomphe, and admire the masterpiece in the Louvre Museum. And this is before you've even thought about the incredible food and drink that France is known for worldwide. You can treat your loved ones to some traditional roasted camembert, a tasty coq au vin, and of course a classic macaroon or two. Do you like macaroons?
I don't mind the occasional macaroon.
Oh, good. And of course as well, if you're feeling a little bit more adventurous as well, you could share some moules et frites. Or even some garlic snails.
Oh yeah.
Oh no.
I think you spent enough time with us to know that we are both lovers of wine, and this is a great place to sample some of the best wines. It's incredible, and a lovely way of kind of getting you in that romantic feeling.
Many cruise lines visit Le Havre, which is Paris's port, normally on the way either to or from Southampton, including some larger lines. You've got MSC, Princess and Celebrity, and some more bespoke lines as well, Silversea, Regent and Oceania, giving you many options to cruise the way you want to.
Now, next up, something you might think is controversial because it's a really misunderstood city and actually it quite upsets me, Amsterdam.
Yeah.
You know, it's famous for many, many reasons. It is a beautiful city and it's really, really romantic in many different ways. The scenic canals, you've got the old cobbled streets, you've got the flowers in the bloom, you've got these beautiful townhouses that line the canals. The way it's set out, just the feel of the place. And taking a cruise is really, really special. It doesn't matter what time of the year it is. Amsterdam really, really is lovely. You can hire a bike, you can cycle around, you can hang out to the big public parks. You know, there's loads of different museums. It's a great city set up to enjoy for couples, and you can get overnight stays added in pre or post cruise with Planet Cruise. You can speak to one of your Planet Cruise experts for that. But the great thing about Amsterdam as well is it does completely change by evening.
It does.
All the bridges as well, and there are many, many bridges, are lit up by fairy lights in the evening. It really is a very romantic place to walk around in the evening. Now, Amsterdam is visited by a plethora of cruise ships, both the ocean-going kind, which will do it as part of their Northern Europe itinerary, and also river cruise lines, which either are based out of there or have it as part of their itinerary. Some of those river cruise ships that we'd recommend to visit and incorporate within a stay would be a Viking River Cruise Lines, of course, which I'm sure you've heard about.
Yes.
They sponsor a lot of murder mysteries on TV. Avalon Waterways, Crystal River Cruises, and of course Fred Olsen, who've recently gone into river cruising as well.
They have, yes. Now this next port of call, it doesn't actually matter whether you visit in the summer, the winter, the day or the night, whether it's raining or whether it's sunny, because Bruges is always a stunning city to spend some quality time in with a loved one. My favourite, the chocolate. But there's so much more you can do, because you can explore the Rozenhouderkaai, one of the most photographed spots in Bruges, and of course it's easy to see why. Or you could also treat yourself with a quintessentially romantic carriage ride through the famous Market Square.
Very nice.
There's also a mini water park at the Lovers Bridge and the canals as well that run through the stunning Old Bruges. And of course, I don't know if I've actually already mentioned this one, the chocolate that's on offer as well, the Belgian chocolate. Did I say anything about that?
No, not at all,
No.
Kim. No, you mentioned it.
Okay.
You didn't mention it at all.
And of course, similar to Amsterdam, where you can be treated to river cruise lines such as Saga River Cruise and Uniworld River Cruise, bringing you closer to that scenery, the atmosphere, and of course, the unmissable romance.
New York, of course, so good they named it twice, is an incredible place. It's a very romantic place. I've spent a lot of time going in and out of New York when I worked with Cunard.
Have you?
Yeah, I did. On Queen Mary 2. That was it's the world's poshest ferry service in many ways, because you're just going backwards and forwards between Southampton and New York. But it's an incredible, incredible city. Very, very romantic. And in fact, Ellen, one of our Planet Cruise experts who recently got married, got engaged on top of the Empire State Building and said it was a magic moment. The views from the Empire State Building, a stroll through the Central Park, maybe a trip to Tiffany's.
Yes, please.
There's the Brooklyn Botanical Gardens, there's the ice skating rink at the Rockefeller Center. There's so many special moments that you could share with a special one in the Big Apple. Now, of course, if you do want to go to New York, yes, of course, you can fly out there, you can fly back, fine. However, doing it with Cunard, with their transatlantic service, is still, without doubt, the best thing. Yeah. Do you know what? As I was 12 years a cruise director, family out many, many times. What's the thing they still go on about?
That cruise.
New York on the Queen Mary 2. That's what they talk about. Why? Because when you go out, you get a certain number of days to cruise out there. You lose or gain an hour a day, depending on which way you're going, and that means there's no jet lag.
No,
And it means the holiday starts straight away. The getting there is half the fun, as Cunard used to say. And then you get to New York and you've got that incredible city to enjoy as well. So the combination with Cunard is fantastic. And if you want any more details, again, just get in touch.
The Caribbean is very popular with lovers from all walks of life.
So is the Caribbean.
Now, it offers relaxing lifestyles that are complemented by lively beach parties and delicious fresh food. Now, the Caribbean will also be in itineraries with your larger lines. So you've got Morella, Carnival, P&O, Celebrity and Royal Caribbean, but it's also a very attractive destinations for some more unique luxury lines. Silversea, Ritz-Carlton, Yacht Club and Crystal Cruises. So here are our two favourite romantic destinations in the Caribbean.
So, without a doubt, Barbados.
Yes.
I was there last Christmas. Again, I've been there many times. I love Barbados. It's, you know, it is called Little England in many ways, but it's very much not like England in the fact that it's beautifully hot. You know, it's full of incredible beaches, incredible food, incredible atmosphere, and there's so much to do, particularly with, you know, with your loved ones. It really, really is.
Now, one of the other most romantic Caribbean islands, you can enjoy a cocktail in hand and that company of that one person you love. That is, of course, St. Lucia. Now, St. Lucia is paradise on earth and is a hot spot for honeymooners. It's got idyllic waters, pristine soft sandy beaches and quaint colourful fishing villages to explore too.
And the world's only drive-through volcano called Sulphur Springs, which doesn't sound romantic, but it actually is, because it's really incredible, and the whole experience of driving through the volcano is incredibly unique, so you'll remember that together as a couple forever. St. Lucia. The Northern Lights have to be mentioned.
A must.
Yeah, absolutely. And this is something that you don't have to see in one particular location actually, but to actually witness the Northern Lights blows your mind. It's beautiful. They really are. Aurora Borealis is what they're known. If you're a fan of stargazing, if you're just a fan of natural phenomena, if you're a fan of light shows, all of those feed into this. And the best way to see them is by a cruise ship.
Yes, definitely.
And there are many different places, whether you are going to be going out to Norway, some of the main ports there, or in Iceland as well, Alaska, yeah. I saw them going down the St. Lawrence River.
Oh, did you?
Yeah, heading towards Quebec. So again, it really, you can see them from lots of different places, but it's a beautiful thing to witness. Now, there are quite a few different lines, of course, that go to the locations and give you an opportunity to see the Northern Lights. I was working on Cunard at the time, but that said, if I was going to choose one cruise line that would really give you the best chance, would be Hurtigruten.
I've done 2 sailings on Hurtigruten.
Fantastic.
Yes, and it was spectacular. I saw the lights both times.
Both times. And in fact, Hurtigruten are so confident that you'll see the lights, they even have a promise that if you don't see the lights on the first cruise you do with them, they then arrange a second cruise for you, which is absolutely incredible. And they're great. So they also have dedicated astronomy voyages, unrivaled excursions around the Antarctic, Alaska, Iceland, Norway, and more. So click the link just there to see our dedicated episode on the Northern Lights.
Now, a land a little bit close to home for some of us, and possibly actually a little bit unexpected. It's Scotland. And I say unexpected purely for people who haven't actually visited before, because this area of the world is so picturesque and awe-inspiring.
And the best way to experience the Scottish Isles in particular is on board a Hebridean ship, focusing on just exploring Scotland so you can see the incredible places, such as the Outer and Inner Hebrides, where you'll find St Kilda, which literally could be straight out of a Jurassic Park movie. It's incredible. You've got the Northern Isles, you've got the Firth of Clyde Islands, which looks like something out of a medieval fairy tale. It's an incredibly diverse country. It's beautiful. It's often overlooked because it's so close to where we are. It's on our front doorstep, and it's a great place to experience and explore on a cruise ship.
Of course, you were just talking about the Isles, but not forgetting as well, you've got Edinburgh and the Scottish Highlands. Now, made famous by many famous TV shows or films, including Monica the Glen, and more recently, a bit of 007 and Skyfall. Which, if you've seen, you'll know there's something absolutely stunning scenery to explore with your loved ones out there. Now, each location has its own feeling of wonder, mystery, romance. And again, you can click on the link in the top corner to see the episode we released about the Hebridean cruises.
Should do that and do a themed one.
Yeah.
Cruise, Planet Cruise. So there we go, some of our favourite places you can visit on a cruise ship, which happen to be romantic and which you'll probably want to share with a loved one. If you've enjoyed this episode, maybe you've learned something, or maybe you just completely disagree with everything we said, either way, please do get in touch. We do love to hear from you. Remember, of course, romance is a personal thing, and we all have different places that we find romantic. I mean, you got engaged, where was it?
I got engaged on Waikiki Beach.
Whereas I got engaged in Hania Harbour, which is an old Venetian harbour in Greece, again at sunset, which is lovely, yeah. Very, very nice romantic setting. So again, these places, for me, I'll always think of Crete in a very romantic way. You'll always think of Waikiki Beach in a very romantic way.
I don't think other people probably would though.
No, doesn't matter though. That's why it's personal. Yeah, so get in touch. Let us know what you think of what you would like to hear more of as well. And don't forget, thank you very much for watching.
Yes.
And you dream it and we
plan it.
Hiya, thanks for watching the video. Now don't forget to like, comment and subscribe below. Remember to click that bell to get all notifications. And if you're looking for more fantastic travel video content, like this click on the videos to the right hand side. It'll be really informative. Or click on the Planet logo to the left to go to our website for some fantastic deals. Keep cruising.